as per is tradition on the Mark Thru, we're going to do a 1, 3, 5, 7, talking about some of our favorite points about Bring It On.
Let's do it.
So 1, I'll start. Bring It On has spurred 5 sequels. I think only 1 was in theaters, and then the rest were all straight to DVD or straight to streaming. But they don't share any of the actors or characters, or really even sometimes the same world. They only are sharing the connected world of competitive cheerleading. So a little disappointing in that regard.
Oh, I remember watching the first one that came out after Bring It On, being so excited to see it.
Another cheer movie.
Bummed. Super bad. Was that the one with Hayden Panettiere? I can't remember what the one right after it was.
It was Bring It On Again. Came out in 2004.
No, it wasn't that one then.
No. Bunch of people I don't recognize on the cast list.
No, and I don't remember them.
All or Nothing
was
the one with Hayden Panettiere.
That one's just cringy to me.
And Beyonce's sibling, Solange Knowles-Smith.
Oh, yes. She's very, very, very pretty. But Hayden Panettiere's character is...
she just does that weird dancing thing.
Crunking.
And it just makes me cringe too hard. I just can't even do it. But to my 1 point, a musical also came out of this Bring It On kind of empire. So the musical was developed with the help of Varsity Spirit. I got to help do a lot of the promotion with, so that was really cool. The musical toured the U.S. It was on Broadway for a stint. And even the musical itself featured some former UCA staff as actors that were in it, touring the U.S., doing stunts and baskets and singing as part of it. So just a really cool way that cheerleading just stayed relevant, because that came out in the the 2010s era, like 11, 12.
Yes, I remember.
So that was awesome. And then fun fact about the musical is Lin-Manuel Miranda, who wrote and created Hamilton, as well as did the music for Moana, wrote some of the music for this play.
He's very, very, very good. And we have a lot of cheer friends who absolutely love Hamilton. So again, nothing's an accident. Everything's connected. So that's really cool.
3.
Writer Jessica, I'm going to mess this up.
Bendinger.
Wanted to make a documentary on the varsity cheerleading competitions that began running on ESPN in the mid-1980s, but none of her colleagues at MTV News seemed interested.
Yeah.
So she ended up writing a script titled Cheer Fever, which was the working title of Bring It On.
Yeah, so when they were initially creating the movie, it was called Cheer Fever. When they were like, Kirsten Dunst, do you want to be in Cheer Fever? She said no. She turned down the role several times.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because it just sounded a little cheesy.
Yeah.
Which Bring It On may be a little cheesier when you think of how they used it in the movie.
Yeah.
Hey, remember, bring it.
But Cheer Fever.
Yeah. But which is crazy, because those competitions are what we do now.
Yes.
That are on ESPN, on CBS Sports. That was, UCA High School Nationals. That was on in the 80s. I know Jeff and Chris and them worked to get that deal with ESPN.
Now, the 1986 Ford College Cheerleading Championships from San Diego. Next.
Sunny San Diego, California, home of SeaWorld. Site of the 1986
Ford College Cheerleading Championship!
And so it's cool that this gal was at MTV News as a writer, and she was like, let's do a documentary, because that would have probably been the prelude to Real Life, which we all watched in the late 90s, early 2000s as a kind of a really raw documentary that MTV did. I remember seeing some gnarly stuff on there.
Yeah.
Just like people's lives that I didn't realize they lived. And so that would have been cool to see it as a documentary, but she was inspired enough, and I think she inserted her gymnastic self, Missy, into it. That's just me.
Yeah, totally. Next.
5. So 5. Famed movie critic Roger Ebert, so Siskel and Ebert fame, the thumbs up, thumbs down guys, has referred to Bring It On as the Citizen Kane of cheerleader movies. So if you've never seen the famed movie, Citizen Kane from 1941. It's a drama mystery. That's a massive compliment to understand that one of the best movie reviewers of all time calls the Bring It On the penultimate movie for cheerleading, meaning no other movie that can be made will ever kind of reach over that peak of what Bring It On is, because still today, almost or over 80 years later, Citizen Kane is still revered as a top movie. So just a cool fun fact from somebody who is very hard on movies and is a tough critic to appease. Even he recognizes the cultural significance of it.
That's huge. That's huge.
So 7.
So, did you know that 2 different endings for Bring It On were actually filmed?
I did not know that.
Okay, so I didn't know this either, and I had the DVD, so I'm really confused. But supposedly, this was an extra deleted or alternative scene on the DVD. So the alternate ending is something we watched before the episode, but Torrance and Isis joined the same cheerleading squad in college at UC Berkeley.
It's so cool. That would have been such an awesome end.
Yes, so the scene was reluctantly put in by Reed in the DVD extras, like I just said. And instead of that scene being the ending scene was when the Oh Mickey blooper reel was added, like just, kind of for fun. And I was...
So just kind of closed the door at nationals for the movie rather than trailing
continuing on. Because like one of the ending... Well, I know. In one of the ending scenes, you see Torrance and Cliff finally kiss and like become a couple. So in the alternate ending, you see Torrance and Cliff holding hands walking around on the university.
Yeah, walking
so you
on
get
campus,
to see that their relationship lasts and they end up going to college together. And then Torrance is now cheering in college on the same team with Isis. Yeah, that is so cool. That is so cool. So like that's an awesome ending, and I can't believe 20 years later I'm just now seeing that on YouTube. So if you guys just Google alternate ending, Bring It On, you'll see it.
We'll probably tweet it too.
Yeah. I just thought
it's pretty awesome.
I just thought that was really cool. And then I know before we got into talking about this, we thought that would have been the perfect segue into the good follow-up to Bring It On. So being Bring It On 2 or whatever, Bring It On goes to college, and it could have been way better. Instead of the slew of just weird teen angsty,
they really just
Bring It Ons we got,
thinking that kids wanted to just
after
live out their day-to-day on film.
Yes. So check that out. That was pretty cool.
So that's why our 1, 3, 5, 7 is kind of just our quick rundown of fun facts.
You ready for this? Who live is this? Who lit is this? Who real is this? We too legit. We are.